Oh no, Bowser made such a mess. I have to clean all of this up. There's cards everywhere. There has to be a better way online for sorting algorithm. Why are all these so boring and hard? Oh look, I found a rap song.
You! Compsci boy, tell him. Hey, I got a new algorithm for y'all called Random Quicksort. Also got another one, Dual Pivot Quicksort. Random Quicksort's what we know. Let us show you in big O. Open squared or log best case, then we super sort that code. Now want me choose two random numbers. Switch those random numbers. Then I pick a pivot. Now we're ready to sort it. Random Quicksort's what we know. Let us show you in big O. Open squared or log best case, then we super sort that code. Now want me choose two random numbers. Switch those random numbers. Then I pick a pivot. Now we're ready to sort it. We've got our numbers on the screen. Don't be stressed, this is easy. We'll use 5 as our pivot, okay? Now we got two loops, I and j. I is 3 and j is 10. 3 is less than 5 and 10 is more than. So we know they're in the right place. Now on to the next trace. 4 and 2 are both less than. But 4 is in the right place, so we move j and keep I there. Now 8 and 2 are both rebels. They are not in the right spot. We'll switch them and then they'll be better. Are we done though? No, we're not. 5 and 9 are in the right places. Split the array into two ways, then repeat it the same way as above, and you get a sorted array. It's not tough. Crank that Compsci boy. Crank that Compsci boy. Crank that Compsci boy. Crank that Compsci boy.
Yeah, random quicksort, okay? Here's how we're gonna sort these cards. So first, we'll pick two random cards and we'll switch them, okay? Now, we'll set a random card as our pivot. That'll be 5. We got our I loop and we got our j loop, okay? Now this I loop is gonna check whether this card is less than the pivot, and the j loop is gonna check whether this card is more than the pivot. In this case, both are true. 3 is less than 5 and 10 is more than 5, so it moves on. 4 is less than 5, so this is good. But 2 is not more than 5, so the j loop stops over there. And the I loop goes on. It checks for this one. 8 is not less than 5, which means that now it has to switch. So now 8 and 2 are going to switch. The goal is that so right now all of these are less than the pivot and all of these are more than the pivot. But that doesn't mean that these are sorted. So we have to continue. So let's start with this one first. We'll set this as our new pivot, we'll set this as our new I, and we'll set this as our new j. Okay? So now we know that the I is less than the pivot, so this is in the right place and it's sorted. But the j is not in the right place and it's not sorted because 2 is not more than 4. So now these switch, right? Now 4 is sorted. It's good. Now you bring these down and do the same thing over again. And you check with I and j, and we'll set 2 as the pivot. Now, this is not true because 3 is not less than 2, which means that these have to be switched. And now, you know that these are sorted. Now, let's come over to this side. Okay, now that we're on this right section of cards, let's just sort this. So, like always, we'll set a random card as our pivot. We'll have our I loop from the left and the j loop coming from the right. And now we check, is 9 less than 8? That is obviously not true. But 10 is more than 8, which means that this is sorted. So this stays in this place, and these two switch. And now, as you can see, these are all sorted. So now, as you can see, we have all of our cards, and if I put them together, they're all sorted in proper order. And that is how you use random quicksort.
Wow, that quicksort was really cool, random quicksort, but I found another cool method called dual pivot quicksort. Let me go show you on the drawing board. Okay, so basically, there's going to be two pivots, and then we sort the cards so all the numbers less than the pivot could go over here. All the numbers in between go here, and then all the numbers that are greater than go here. Then once we have these three subsections, we then repeat the process and sort it till we get a full sorted array. Let me go show you with the cards now. So to start, I'll put the 3 and the 10 as the two pivots in the array. Then we're going to use the two variables I and j to go through the array and sort the cards into the three subcategories. The ones that are less than 3, the ones that are in between the two pivots, and the ones that are greater than 3. So firstly, we go through 4. 4 is greater than 3 and less than 10. Therefore, it's in the right subcategory. Then as well as 8 and as well as 5. But then we get to 2. And 2 is not greater than 3. Therefore, we have to switch these. We switch these and now in order to get all the cards into the right category. So now, compared to the pivot, which was 3 originally, all of these cards are now in the right subcategory, and these two are in the exact position it's supposed to be in. So now what we do is go through the subarray. So now we have these 5 cards. We'll set 3 and 4 as our new pivot. But because of the fact that 3 is less than 4, we have to first swap the two pivots. So now we have 3 in the right position. Now we're going to go through the array using our two variables I and j and sort the cards into the right category. So 8 is greater than 3 but not less than 4. Therefore 8 has to go onto the right of 4. And then we go into 5. 5 as well. As well as 9. So both of these are going to go onto the right of 4. And now we got our subarray. So we know from this that these two cards are fully sorted. And then we have this subarray. So we're going to move on to the next subarray. In this case, I'm going to set 8 and 9 as the two pivots. And because 9 is greater than 8, we know that they're in the right position. We're going to use our variables I and j to check. And then we know that 5 is not greater than 8. Therefore, we swap these two. And we know that all of our values are in the correct order from 2 to 10. And therefore, the array is now sorted using dual pivot quicksort. So that's just how I thought we can do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the dual pivot quicksort is a really good one that you found. But if you want to compare the two, their O notations are the exact same, meaning that their worst case is n squared and their best case is log of n. But in studies done, dual pivot quicksort has been proven to be faster. But an advantage of random quicksort is that if the array is already sorted, first thing it does is switch two random values in it to improve efficiency. But otherwise, dual pivot quicksort is the better one.
Wow, thank you, Compsci boy. I have all the cards sorted now. I can finally get back to all my work.
Anytime.